What are some pros and cons you should know for your visa application if you're considering using an immigration lawyer? This can either be your working visa, tier 2 healthcare visas, or social care, or your student visas, or your naturalization. Before you consider using an immigration lawyer, you should strongly know these 5 key tips that I think everyone should be aware of. And as always, I am Farouk Bello, host of the Rooks podcast, and you know how these videos go. Let's begin. Let us begin with number 5. Number 5 is a very, very key one, which is beginning the whole process and finding the documents you actually need for that visa process. Now, it can be very, very daunting when you don't know where to start. What a lawyer can help you do is you tell them what exactly your profession is, and they can help you find out that whole process. Basically saying, we're going to need you to get us an IELTS or an English proof of language, your bank statement, your cost letter from your office, or your employer, whoever it is, and basically every other document that you would potentially need for the whole process. They can let you know these are documents we're going to need to be able to successfully, or give you the highest chance of successfully putting through an application. Now, this number 5 process can be one that people always think, ooh, do I know about it, or what are you supposed to do? But they can help you with that process. Now, let's move on to number 4. Number 4 is a very, very interesting one, because number 4 is basically follow for number 5, which is basically sorting through those documents. Now, you having to do that yourself is very possible. And again, everything I say in this video is dependent on what type of lawyer you use, who you're using as your lawyers, and what packages you're paying for. Are they holding your hands just a little bit, or are they holding it all the way through the whole process? And this varies from place to place. But sorting through those documents, what normally happens is, again, varies, is you send them the documents they ask you for. They provide you a list and say, we need these documents for your own specific personalized application program. You send it to them, you send these documents to them, and what happens next is they then collect all that information, sort through it, and then figure out, yep, we have all the documents we need from you at this time for that successful application. And documents you don't need, you just let them know we're waiting for the cost letter, which a lot of people will be waiting for. And I know it gets a bit antsy. I'm going to do a whole video on cost letters separately. But yeah, they help you collate all that information that you need, which is very, very important. Which brings me to number 3. The third point of that you can find beneficial from a immigration lawyer or a professional is actually timing. Now, timing is one thing I always drive home that can either make or break your application. Either you miss time and think you don't give yourself enough time to make that application, or you give yourself too little time for that application. Lawyer can let you know what is a realistic time frame based off what is happening at the moment. For example, last year during the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020, you were not going to be able to get quick applications. The turnover was not going to be rapid because they were so backlogged. So they can let you know realistically around this time things are getting a bit longer in terms of the 6-week way, which is what is advertised on the site. So they can really help you with that, managing your time well and giving you deadlines for when, okay, we need this by this, we need the cost letter by this. If you still want to make that application, your deadline for when you have to leave the country is X date. We need to submit that application beforehand so that you don't forget and then get yourself in trouble. But an also big one for timing is timing for biometrics, when you need to get your biometrics done. Some places they have different systems now, when you need to get your passport ready and when you need to get all these things. So that can be very, very helpful with timing that the immigration lawyers can help with. Again, you can do it by yourself if you give yourself enough time, give yourself a large enough window, and you don't leave things on a tight scale. But when you need a tight scale, those are the guys you can probably get good information from regarding that. Okay, let's move on to the next point that they can help with. Again, this is more similar to the beginning where they help you find the documents. Now they're going to review all your documents and help you with the application. Some places will help you fill out the application with your assistants or vice versa, either way, making sure that all boxes are filled and everything matches the document you've already submitted with them, just so you make sure there are no discrepancies. For example, one common one that people might make is putting the wrong titles of your job, or putting that you're this type of worker and that your cost letter says one thing else. They can really help you with that whole process and make sure that you're not making any mistakes like this. That can easily get your application, depending on who you get, who reviews your application, rejected, which is a very unfortunate thing. You have to do the whole process again and you have to go through a lot of hoops again. So they can really help you with making the application process, as well as the last part of it, which brings us to number 1, submission and follow through. So when they can help you submit the application, meaning they'll let you know these are your application is ready. We can submit it. Let's go. You finally submit that application. You submit that application. Everything looks good. And basically, once your application is submitted, that's the end of it for now. But their job doesn't end. Again, everything depends on the package you're provided with. You can help you with the follow through, which is basically making sure that when your application comes, either goes to them, it goes to you, or they let you know you've been successful with the application process. Everything is legal, so they know exactly what to do. They can help you follow up. They know they can help you keep up to date with anything changes in the time. For example, something changes in regulations. They're the guys you probably go and meet to know exactly what's happening because it's their job to know. They can help you with that whole follow through process. And hopefully all you'll be hearing from them at the end of the day is your application is successful and your passport is ready. But again, I will reiterate, you can do everything here by yourself. Nothing is here that is impossible for you to do by yourself. The question is, you have to trust your ability, give yourself enough time, do a lot of rigorous work. And if you're working at the same time, this can take a really good chunk of your time because some people may find it easier, some people may not find it easier depending on which country you're coming from. Are you doing an application from the UK? Are you doing an application from abroad? A lot of these things can play a role into how time consuming it is. But in my experience, it was not a very, very quick process. Having consultants help me with that was actually very, very helpful overall. So yeah, it's a good thing, but there is one big con I think you should know, and that is a con that I think a lot of people would appreciate. Some people already know this. It is the price, the cost of using immigration lawyers. The cost of using immigration lawyers can vary, if I'm being honest. They can vary from, okay, reasonably priced to pretty expensive, depending on how much hand-holding you want through that process. If you want them to just give you a little bit of support at specific areas, and they offer that package, yeah, sure. Again, every lawyer is different. They offer different things. If you want a full package, meaning from beginning to end and follow through, and even then, maybe naturalization help as well, if you're looking into that, or getting passport export or permanent residency, those can cost quite a good chunk. But most of the time, you pay for what you get, if I'm being honest. If you get the best guys who do this regularly, pretty much have a very high chance. Nothing is guaranteed. I'm not going to say anything guaranteed. Have a really high chance because they'll make sure that your documents are perfect. If you go the other way, you pay for what you get. I'm not going to say anything on the other end. I'm not going to tell you prices of what, it's £100 to £20,000. It varies depending on if you're using a lawyer that is already in your own country, using a UK-based country lawyers, or just using some consultants, immigration consultants. Now, you need to make sure you don't fall into any traps of buying extra services that you really don't need. Make sure you know what you're getting. If this is something that interests you or you want me to go more into immigration lawyers, let me know in the comments. Also, let me know, do you use immigration lawyers? Have you used them in the past for any part of your process, be it student visas, working visa, or permanent residency? Did you find them useful or not? Some people find them useful, some people do not. Again, if you have someone who's already done the process by themselves or use the lawyers and then doing it, helping you with it, it can be a lot easier than you going in completely blind by yourself, having to go through all these documents. Because if I'm being honest, some employers will not give you so much support outside providing you with a cost letter and telling you you've gotten the job. So the rest of it falls on you to sort through all these documents. Sometimes a lawyer might be helpful, sometimes they don't. But you know how this goes. I just gave you some general advice on what you can do. None of this is technically legal advice, so just make sure you do your own due diligence as well. Read all the documents, watch the videos. Hope you enjoyed the video. Till next video, Rooks out for Root Bellow. Take care.